Hello everyone, it's Michael Mechanical here, and today I got to give you a bit of an update on the turbo. Now, this turbo here I was planning to rebuild, but things got delayed, stopped, and a lot of things went wrong, so I couldn't really do it. And I got my mum watching me and making me feel a little bit uncomfortable here at the moment. Sorry mum, but I know you need to do the washing. So what I got to do is I got to pull out whatever I have to do of the turbo, because you're not going to like this, but I bought a Chinese cheapo turbo, and we're going to have a look at that in a bit. So that's going to be replacing the current turbo, and I'll be honest, the good thing about this being a Chinese cheapo turbo, and by the way, COVID-19, spray the freaking box while we're making the video, then I'll come back to it in a minute. I've got actually two types of spray. I've got Ancas Analyte, that's actually not good on metal, and then I have the Dettol, which is fine. It doesn't say it will make metal corrode, but Ancas has chlorine in it, which makes things rust apparently, even stainless. So here's the only good thing I can really say about this turbo. It's going to get me out of trouble. Mine has been contacting the housing, the wastegate housing, and the compressor sides housing. So that is a reason I wasn't able to actually put this back on the road again. It was a bad idea. I could hear some metal tanging. It would sound like a bottom end bearing, but I won't know for sure until I put this all back together again. Potentially even fresh oil. I'll make sure that the special wastegate thing, the valve is up on the top of the motor, which is right there, so I'll be putting that back on the car because I'm not taking chances, especially with that motor and the problems it has. I will not be putting a brand new part on the car that I bought for $110 because it's not worth it, and I don't believe one of these came with it either. So if I have a third one, then I have a third one, that's cool, but I don't believe I got one of them in the box. I believe it's just the turbo and that's it. And I will be eventually getting around to buying a genuine one for the 4056 in the shed that's still being built. Bad news, we're having to get a custom head gasket made up, and it will be an MLS. The bad news is, if it was a fully manufactured gasket, it cost me about $800 for just a head gasket MLS. But the good news is, it's only going to cost about $200, $300 because they're not going to make the whole gasket. They're going to buy one off the shelf, put shims in it to the right height, and then be done with it there. So, how am I going to get into this video? Well, I'm going to try and upload it today with a little bit of an update, but this is mostly to do with the turbo. So let's get into this. So I'm not worried about personally getting COVID-19. I don't think I would from the package. Plenty of people have handled it. It has travelled a long way, and it has been isolated in such a way that I don't believe it will have it. But if the Chinese government tries to, you know, force it into packages, then that's the scary thing. We don't know what they're going to do, and it's just, life is scary. I'll quickly get this consignment note off. So now I have to look into opening this. So what I'm expecting is something that probably matches up quality wise to what mine is currently. But then again, I'm also expecting something that's kind of garbage at the same time. So I'm concerned about how long this is going to hold up. I know what kind of to expect, but not entirely. So that's a book. Oh look, steel gaskets that are embossed. So it looks like it does come with the wastegate, and mine is actually no good. It's actually a service card, and I guess this is going to be something to give us some insurance. So this is also a branded business. So MaxX Speeding Rods is actually a business that actually does this stuff on mass production. It makes me wonder how good they actually are. All our products are fully warranted against any manufacturer defect. For any problem, please contact them about any issues, essentially. Millions of reviews. Yeah. So I don't know what I'm expecting exactly out of this, if it's going to last or not, but this is a little tiny bit of reassurance to say, hey, we're a good company, we're not crap. They say Australia, they say US, China, Russia, UK, and Germany. So they're all over the world. What's this one here? This one is a focus on performance, 100% brand new aftermarket parts, conforms to original OE standards and crafted to ensure exact fit and function, made from premium quality components to ensure unmatched reliability and durability. Units are strictly quality tested, which ensures excellent performance. Now that's something I wanted to hear earlier. Factory direct sells most affordable solution for all your replacement needs. So depending on how this one here goes, it sounds like they're trying to say that yes, they're a very good company, they make this stuff and they're very good at what they do, and I'm hoping that they are, because if this fails on my car I will be disappointed greatly. Now I remember saying that there's not going to be a wastegate actuator in here, and I don't believe there will be, so it'll be interesting to see how this one is, and it is very, very heavy for what's in the box. The concern is the COVID-19 stuff, and this is in a bag, so it's pretty much protected from any, essentially any air from getting to it, so COVID-19 could be very well living in this package and I wouldn't know until I got sick. So the idea is I'm going to open it up as best as I can, and if it's handled, be very careful of what I'm doing. Okay, that's packaging material. Have numbers on it, have this paper. And it looks exactly like I was expecting, and it has play. Oh my god. I'm not happy. I'm already not happy with this. This is already disappointing me. That shouldn't be like that. So, it kind of is okay, but I don't know how good this actually is. Oh my god. I do not think this is a very good turbo, to be honest. I'm actually quite surprised that I'm actually saying that. But it is not the greatest in the world. Oh my god. So I'm actually just going to go grab the other one in a minute. I'm going to make sure that, because I'm touching the bottle, I'm going to spray my hands with this stuff. And I've got to be very careful with this stuff. If I'm going to touch anything, I think this will be okay on this. This is an NCAS analyte, so it's a bit more tolerant of some stuff going on. And if there is any bacteria on here, this will help protect me from getting sick. Also, this isn't actually meant for people's hands. I shouldn't be spraying my hands with this stuff, but it will help to protect me. Now, I'm going to come along and show you the internals of this one. So look how tight that one looks, if you can actually see, and then there is definitely play in this one here. Okay? And this is a genuine one. This one has play and a little bit of play. The fins on this one are different. The assembly is a bit different. I don't even know if this is meant to be, this is the exact same one or not, but it doesn't seem like it. It should be water cooled. Has the water cooling jacket. It has the plumbing pipe to the bottom, which is here, and that should have a third one on the side here. It does. Let's see, what else is there? The compressor side of things, they have this stamp on here, which is alright. Can't complain with that. And if I compare its size, it's about the same size, same specification wise. It looks a little bit bigger and a little bit more grippier around these bits, potentially both bits. I'm actually disappointed looking in this. It's a little bit disappointing to see how concerning that. This has a tight tolerance around where the body meets the compressor wheel. I'll show you in a minute the other side, but I'll show you what the disappointing side of this is. I'll show you the internals of this. Can you see how much plays in there? Now that's the concerning thing. It could be just that there's that's oil clearances, but that's a little bit concerning. Doesn't seem like it contacts anything, but there's definitely a lot of play in there. This could blow up in a short amount of time. Who knows how long this is going to last. It's a little bit dodgy there. Now let's get on to the other side. So this is the compressor side of things, and this is for the diesel. So this has a single bladed fin. They don't even look that big. I'm looking at the fins to see how they compare to this. They look quite different. It doesn't even look like it's been machined at the nut. So I'm just looking at the blades to see how they conform. Yeah, it's similar enough. But there isn't going to be a high load on it, so I'm hoping that this is just a misunderstanding on my part. But this doesn't seem like it's actually been officially balanced. There's gunk in here. Oh my gosh. It's like that grease. It looks like grease or something. It doesn't look like it's actually officially been balanced, because I normally take something off at the top of the nut, and let's take some off of this side as well. A little bit. That's just a little tiny bit concerning, but we've got a turbo now. We can throw this on this engine. If it blows up, it blows up. It's better I do it, you know, run this on the engine in my car now, because if this destroys itself on my car, then that's okay, because that engine needs a real build anyway, as long as it doesn't destroy everything. On the other engine, however, I would not put this on there, not knowing what I should be expecting and quality and all that stuff. So I'll put this cover back on, and I'm going to have to uninstall the wastegate and install the new one. That's going to be fun, and install everything else and get this thing running. So they don't really have any instructions with the box, unfortunately, so there's nothing to say, hey, this is how you should install this. This is just out of the box. What it is what it is. I would be putting oil through this first before running it, because if I run it as it is, it's just going to destroy itself anyway. There should be a little bit of oil go through it, and I believe it's the top hole there that's for your oil. You want to circulate oil and get it out the bottom pipe first. I will have to make a new gasket up and install this pipe from here to here, and that should get us out of trouble there. I'll probably need another one of those pipes eventually, so that'll be another job. And then here's the gaskets that came with it. That's it. So it does have a fibre washer for some pipes. Yeah, we're going to see how this thing goes. So this is actually going to be a little bit tricky to get out, and I've got two lights, so I can now give you different angles of lighting. So we have to take off 3 bolts at the manifold down there. One is at the very base, and you can just see it from here. That one there. There's a triangle shape sort of pattern going around. There's one behind that little pipe in the way there. Just see the stud. And there's one back there that's going to be a headache to get out. I've also got to take off these bolts around this manifold here, and I think I should unbolt the exhaust, take that plate off, and bolt it straight on potentially to that. I'll figure out the order, and then essentially bolt the turbo up, then bolt that on after, or bolt it on before. It doesn't matter as long as everything fits. As I was not saying before, this actually is a bit damaged. So when this turbo's manifold is out, when the wastegate is out, I will show you the damage internally, as well as give you a bit more information, insights into what's going on here. It's time to find out what the very first problem I've identified is. This is not actually a straight swap onto my car. So you see this side of the turbo, right? And how it's got the, you know, the blades, the little wastegate valve. Look at my wastegate valve. I do only have 3 bolts to unscrew. There's only 3 bolts on mine, and this one has 5. So I've already encountered my very first problem. We might be able to retrofit something to make it fit. It's meant to be OEM, it's meant to suit, but maybe, because mine is a 95, mine's a tight one to get the right part for. And that's meant to suit, the whole turbo is. So that's the only problem I can see thus far with fitting to this vehicle. So that's the only issue currently. It's a bit of a pain. I'm going to work something out if I can. If I can't, then I'm in trouble. And I'm going to have to figure out how to come up with a solution for this. I might have to make something which is going to be a bit of a pain in the butthole, but can't complain. You got a Chinese turbo. If I bought genuine, it could have cost me $1,400. But yeah, we can't afford genuine, so it looks like I'm going to be out of commission longer. But we'll find out in a minute. We'll see what we can do. Oops, I'm sick. So we're back and the turbo has been unbolted from the exhaust housing thing, and we are going to now look at the problem. Now clearly you'll be able to tell straight away that there's something off about these two housings. There's 3 bolts here, then there's 2 missing bolts here. There's this one has those 2 missing bolts there. But if we look at the dimensions of this, and it might look off, but it's okay, it's not actually off. It's just those pipes are bent. Those pipes are bent, and these ones are too, but not much. And it has these covers on there that are giving it some height. So I'm going to leave them on. You'll tell that they're a little bit different in height, but that's only based on the plastics and the bent pipes. But you'll be able to tell if I'm looking in there, that looks similar, and that looks a lot different in a way. That's because this housing chamber here connects in here on mine, whereas you know, this is mine and this is this. I actually don't even know if I can put a part on here because I don't even know if it will fit. Anyway, this is the gasket kit that came with it, with the 5 bolt. But other than that, this one here is actually damaged. I don't know if you can see the resistance in this, but it doesn't like moving, and I'm just going to keep falling over with this stuff. That's not good. But this one here has a lot of resistance. You can sort of see when I'm operating this occasionally, it's like rocking the whole thing. So this shouldn't be that rocky. So this one, look how loose that is. That will fall apart, fall under its own weight. This one here, not a chance. It just doesn't want to move. It's blocked up or something. So anyway, the way this one would operate, if it was the same as this would open up, it would come through this chamber and go straight back in front of the turbine, and that would be how it recirculates gas. So the way I could fix this is I could either modify this plate or make a new one of these tubes. I've got to figure out what I'm going to do. I could make a new tube, or I could do something else. So I need a flange like this, and then I'd need to expand this chamber so this can operate to its maximum potential that it needs to operate to. So that would be this short rotation, which is about 30 degrees. So to end off the video, it's actually a couple days later, and I didn't put this video together on the same day. So I got some great news and I got some bad news before this video completely ends. I'm editing it right now as we speak. I won't be able to put this turbo, the turbo back on here. I don't actually have it at the moment. It is at a wreckers where they're trying to find another manifold to suit it, so then I can just bolt everything together and put it back on. I won't be able to do that straight up. I'll need the turbo back. I'll need to get 5 studs, the right lengths made up or found, purchased, whatever, so I can bolt it all together. Turbo stuff's right here. But I want to go ahead and share some awesome news. Now, I found a really good deal, and Dad paid for it because I can't afford anything at the moment. So I'm a little bit trapped at the moment. I will advise people not to go as crazy as I have with spending, especially if you're not heavy running vehicles. So from my experiences I've had recently, I don't think I would ever do the exact same thing I've done now again. I think I will avoid making the same mistake, because if I spend my money on the car and keep the car going, my chances for finishing off the other motor increase. My self-independence is there, and I don't have to worry about borrowing money. So the idea is to save up more than enough money to do something like this, or do it bit by bit, spend a little bit at a time rather than spend it all at once, sort of thing, because that's what I did. I was hoping to be reliable before this happened. So I got bits here. That's not what I want to show you. What I wanted to show you is a few goodies that Dad managed to purchase for the Pajero. We got switches, we got this clutch release thing, and a roller for something. I have no idea. RRD, don't know what that is. I have to go and do some homework. We've got another one of these valves. There is another valve, probably not here, but I'm looking for everything before I end this video. There is 2 valves, 2 of these. I'm looking for the second one. I'm looking for all, oh, here we go. It's all here on the ground. So what I'm looking at is another injection pump, the gear pulley that I need to complete a set. Dad's now got a intercooler turbo manifold thing. He's got another starter motor, another alternator, water pump, and some other little goodies in there. I'm just looking for another one of these because it's so hard. He's also got a rocker cover in that bag. This is mine. Dad thought that was what was supplied, but it wasn't supplied. I'm just looking for the other one of these because it was rock hard. Oh, here we go. Here it is. So there's the difference between the two. Now this one comes off a Pajero, this one comes off the Triton, and as you'll see in a minute, if I can get my fingers in the right angles, I can pop this with my thumb very easily. This is pops at about 10 to 12 psi. This one here, however, I can't even pop it with my thumb. It's that hard. So I've learned a lesson. My Triton has a lighter spring in it opposed to the Pajeros. It's a bit weaker as well, but mine is a bit more of an interference-y kind of engine. It's a bit lower, higher compression. It does need this protection just in case you get too much boost. With the 1.7mm gasket that I will be getting, it will allow for a little bit more boost tolerance if I want to boost it up a little bit. But I do believe I need this specifically on mine because it is very, very light. If this is going to blow, it's going to go low. So all the extra goodies were all purchased for $100 and Dad paid for it, and all I wanted was the gear. I didn't want the injection pump. I did say to Dad I want the lines. I was going to buy the lines and some injectors for the other engine, so then we have, along with the gear, a fully complete, almost runnable engine, which would be cool. But aside from that, we need to wrap this video up, so I'm gonna make sure I finish this up as quickly as possible. I'm gonna get another manifold. If I can't get another manifold, I will have to order one from overseas. If I can't order one from overseas, potentially make something, or I will buy another exhaust wastegate thing for the turbo, swap them over, brand new one, not a second-hand one, because parts might not be compatible. But I'll try to do as best as I can. I will not be leaving that on this engine because it likely will blow the engine up, and that will leave me stranded on the side of the road. So I'd have to be more gentle with the car if I were to leave that part on the car, because mine pops early, not late. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching, thanks for joining in. I'll have more updates for you later on. We're getting more pumpkins coming up, and we've got plants to plant. We've got some stuff in the grow bed, but I feel like that's all I can really do for this video. It was a really tough job to get that manifold off. I believe in the meantime I should try to put all this stuff together with the new injectors. I'm not going to use the new washers, all of them at least, and that means I should be okay because I'm going to put well, not the new copper washers on anyway. So thank you all for watching, thank you for joining in. I really appreciate any support. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say about the addition of that melody. It's something I'm not very good at making. I just used Music Maker, which is from Magix, to make it. It's free, and they had some stuff and it was too easy to make that, so even yous could probably recreate what I just made up. I wouldn't even say I completely made it. I would say that I just grabbed a few things, put it together, and it was pretty much what you heard throughout the thing. So the note on that is I gotta try and make my own stuff, or ask someone who is a professional to try and help me make a melodies to go with my channels, videos and stuff. Something to suit the theme of what I do, something to suit the theme of what I talk about, and all sorts of other scenarios. So thank you for watching. This is Michael Mechanical signing out for another video. Okay, so I'm going to do this first. Okay. So I'm just going to pause it here. For now, I can't crack those bolts because there's rust on them, so I'll make a few notes here. Any melodies you hear in the video, I'd like to hear what you say about them in the comments below. See what you guys think. If they're good, they're bad, they add something, they take something away, let me know. I'm going to wait for some penetrine when I put it on there to soak in a little bit to make it easy to crack those bolts.